in the country, and it is because of the failed Republicans in Congress said, and we need to get out the vote, and that is why I have brought a guest with me here today to encourage each and every one of you. You know him nationally, traveling from state to state, registering Republicans to vote, getting out the vote for candidates, winning elections, and now is the #1 voice in putting pressure on weekly John Thune in the Senate to get the Save America Act to the floor. To nuke the filibuster, to secure our elections, have voter ID and only United States citizens voting in our United States elections. Colorado, please stand to your feet and give a roaring welcome to my friend, Scott Presler.
I got a phone call the other day. I was in Washington, D.C., and Congresswoman Boebert said, you guys were doing this assembly here, and she said, Scott, will you come and make yourself available? And I said, I wouldn't miss it for the world, so thank you, Colorado. In 2024, I was living at the time in the Commonwealth of Virginia, but I actually moved my life and I left the Commonwealth of Virginia for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for the sole purpose of voting to help President Trump win Pennsylvania and become the 47th president. That year, I hired 87 staff across Pennsylvania's 67 counties, and we registered 50,000 voters. 50,000 isn't a whole lot, but I'll tell you, our now Senator Dave McCormick won his election, flipping a Democrat seat from blue to red by 15,000 votes. Yes, every vote counts. Yes, every vote matters. And when some people tell me, but Scott, my one voice in Colorado doesn't make a difference. If you ever feel that way, I want you to forever remember what I'm about to tell you right now. Dave McCormick, our 53rd senator, was the 50th vote that allowed J.D. Vance to give us Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. Every single gosh-darn vote counts. And while I do agree, you know, gosh, I travel around the country, I pick up trash and I register voters, and some people even are attacking me. Bless their hearts. Y'all know what that means here in Colorado. I will say, in order to protect President Trump's legacy, and in order to keep the House of Representatives, and in order to keep our majority, let's remember that our opponents are the opposition. They are the Democrat Party, and let's make sure that we are staying friends and family within our party. However, semicolon, I say this with love and respect. You guys know whenever I post on social media, I always say we're being peaceful. I do have one peaceful bone to pick, and I think you guys will agree with me. If there are any secret Democrats that snuck in here, I want to trigger them for a second. Donald J. Trump won the popular vote in 2020. And with that popular vote, we duly elected a Republican House, a Republican Senate, and a Republican White House. And we don't want just placeholders. We demand action and results. First, let me speak to the House. Over the last couple months, you've probably seen really long hair in the halls of Congress, much to the chagrin of a lot of members. I've spoken to probably 90 members in the House of Representatives. I've spoken to about 10 senators. And I promise you as I stand before you, while I want us to be successful on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026, our Republican majority must pass the Save America Act and give it on President Trump to sign into law. That is the single most important piece of legislation that the American people want. 84% of Americans across all demographics, all ages, all races, we all want proof of citizenship and photo voter ID. I will say, the Speaker of the House, he is doing his job. He is one of the most narrow majorities in American history, and yet he was able to pass the Save America Act 218 to 213, and Congresswoman Lauren Boebert was one of those votes in the affirmation for the Save America Act. Semicolon. However, our Senate is not doing its job. We elected a Republican majority Senate, and I hear from voters across the country, Scott, what is the use of having a Republican majority when they are in power? They do not wield and use that power. And so I'm honest, today is day 101 that I've been called out respectfully, Senate Majority Leader Thune. And if he has a spy that's snuck in today, you send this message to the Senate Majority Leader. If he does not give us what we want, the Save America Act, then going into the Texas runoff, I will be endorsing Ken Paxton for the United States Senate to defeat John Cornyn. If he will not give us what we want, then we will take away what he has. That is how the Republican Party is going to operate going forward, because we, the people, are in control, not our elected officials. I remember my staff filming right now, and so I'm going to name a couple pieces of legislation, and based on how much you or dislike this legislation, I want you to make yourselves audibly heard, okay? And if you don't know the legislation, you can just stay silent. The first piece of legislation, the Brave Burma Act. Nobody knows what that is. Our Senate majority is trying to prioritize the Brave Burma Act. Okay, let's do another one. Second piece of legislation, the Dignity Act. Jaden, are we getting this? To the members of the House and the Senate, are you hearing that the people do not want this? The Road to Housing Act. Nobody knows what these pieces of legislation are. The Save America Act! Okay, I think when we show this to members of Congress, they're going to understand what you want and what we're going to do peacefully if they don't give us what we want. And I will say, we have a lot of women here. Women are the backbone of the Republican Party. Ladies, women are the backbone of the Republican Party. Is there anything, ladies, that upon the passage of the Save America Act that is going to stop, inhibit, or prohibit you from voting? Do you know where your marriage certificate is? Women, do you know where your birth certificate is? See, when Hillary Clinton said that men tell women how to vote, oh, she got it so wrong. She doesn't know a thing about women. Because what I know about women is that actually, with all respect to our husbands and men, it is the women telling the men in the household. Are going to say it is misogynistic for having the Save America Act. One more time. Ladies, is there anything that will stop you from voting in Republicans up and down the ballot this November upon the passage of President Trump signing the Save America Act into law? This has been the greatest honor of a lifetime. After you guys, I'm going straight to Indiana, and Republican legislators that didn't redraw maps, we're going to primary them and challenge them and hold them accountable. After that, we're going to Virginia, because we are not going to allow Hakeem Jeffries to gerrymander the Commonwealth of Virginia. And we are voting no on April 21st to protect President Trump's legacy. After that, I'm going to Arizona, the great state 48, and then Alaska, because Senator Murkowski, we are going to defeat ranked choice voting. As I stand before you, I promise every second of every day, when I'm not doing my hair, is dedicated to you. I will work for you every single day to make sure that we keep our Republican majority. And if I may do one last thing before I exit, may I have everyone, we have such great electric energy in the room. If you are able and willing, will you stand so I can take a viral video that's going to go everywhere, supernova viral on social media? Okay, I'm going to start, and when I say November 3rd, 2026, I want such an explosion of energy that people can hear us outside of this auditorium. Do you guys understand? Okay, so because this is going viral, everyone look especially handsome and beautiful, okay? Thank you,